these principles will help you wherever you are, wherever you're going, whatever is happening to you. You can use them in your business life, in your life in general, in your family, wherever. So that's why we meet every Sunday, and those who are smart enough, they are here. And there's usually a lot of people every Sunday. And so if you're brand new, you've never been here before, someone told you to be here, this has nothing to do with compensation plans or back office or anything else. This is pure and simple personal development. And you can't give what you don't have. That's why you never should take advice from someone who hasn't done anything. Always stick to the winners. So let's get started with this webinar. And I like this saying, this sentence, and that is, it means a lot, but you can see what it means to you. But it says that don't base your decisions from the people who give you advice who does not have to deal with the results or the consequences. What does it mean? Well, it means that there's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. And never take advice from those people. Take advice from people who've been where you are right now. That's a pretty good way to start this webinar. So this webinar is going to be a little bit about everything. If you've been here for a while and you've been listening to a couple of these webinars, you will recognize some stuff, but some stuff is new. There's always like that. But today we're going to go through a little bit about how to get rid of worry and fear. And even if you knew, you never heard this before, and to think is to create is so fundamental, because every one of us, all of us, we wake up in the morning and we start to think. When we start to think, we're actually starting creating. We don't know. We don't realize that, but that's the way it is. There's no results in anything without us thinking. So you can actually say that your best thinking got you where you are right now. So if you want to change something, whatever that is, you have to change the way you think. Otherwise, you will create the same problems or the same success or whatever that is that you're having. And when you find out those principles behind everything and you can get hold of those, you never ever have to worry again, because you know there's always going to be a way out. There's always going to be a solution. There's always going to be something behind the next corner. And living in fear, it's not fun. So let's start with this. To think is to create. And everything starts with an idea. Everything starts with an idea. You started your business with an idea that you said, I want to do this business. Or you said to yourself, I need money. Or you said, I want to have fun. I want to be around people. Or you said, I'm tired of this way I'm living, so I'm going to do something new. Or you say, oh, whatever that was. Everything starts with an idea. The stool, the chair you're sitting in, or the sofa, or the table that you have your laptop on right now started with an idea. Someone thought out how that table, chair, whatever should look like. So everything around us has started with an idea. Ideas are powerful. Ideas are powerful. And this is not going to be, you know, the whole seminar of how to think and to reprogram your subconscious mind, but it's just a reminder that ideas are powerful. Everybody's thinking. We start thinking when we wake up in the morning, and we have 60,000 thoughts a day. Everyone. So if you take a person that doesn't have any good results in his life, he's not satisfied with his life, he has 60,000 thoughts. And the person who are successful and doing everything right, or almost everything right, also have 60,000 thoughts. So what's the difference of those two persons? One person is thinking one way, and the other person is thinking in another way. So the thinking is what creates. So when you got these principles, you can never blame anyone else. You can never say, oh, they did it to me. No, you did it to yourself, because you put yourself in that situation. We're all a victim the first time. The second time is optional. Yeah, you can write that down. You can think about it. Maybe you don't get it now. Maybe you're angry at me for saying so, but it's so true. Anyway, so we have 60,000 thoughts a day. Those thoughts is actually the movie of your life, because every thought is like the one frame in the old, remember in the old cinemas where there's a roll of film, and they put this big roll of film, and then they started the projector and start watching the movie, and every frame, there was like thousands of frames in those rolls. You can say that you have a roll of film, and that's your life. Those thoughts that you have every day are what you are producing, or what you are creating. So if you want to create something else, you want to be somewhere else or in a different situation, you have to change. Is that so hard? Yeah, it is. It is hard, because we're stuck in habits. We're stuck in habitual thinking. We're stuck in old dogmas. We're stuck in religious stuff. We're stuck in myths. We're stuck in the procedures. We're stuck in all that stuff that someone else taught us or put in. Now it's time to put in the stuff you want to have, you want to do in your life. So that's where we're starting today. And you remember me saying performance comes from the inside, not the outside. So it doesn't matter if you have the wrong thinking and someone give you a Lamborghini and you think, whoa, I made it, I'm a success. And you drive around in your Lamborghini with the same thinking that you had before someone gave you the Lamborghini. What will happen? Well, you can drive it for a while, or you will probably lose it or do something, because you have the wrong thinking, because your thinking did not give you the Lamborghini. Someone just gave it to you. Oh, maybe it's a bad example, but anyway, that's why getting something for nothing will not work for anyone, because you will end up in the same situation as you're thinking. So if you get something for nothing, you better start changing your thinking. Like Jim Rohn says, if you make 1 million, you better become a millionaire fast. Otherwise, you will lose it. So performance comes from the inside, not the outside. That's why we're doing these webinars. That's why I'm for 110%. It's for me, it's all about personal development. It's all about working those, mini baby steps every day, reading, getting information, understanding how stuff works, understanding that, the world will want to have it one way, but the real way is totally different. That's why the saying is, don't let the world program you. You shall program your own mind. So don't conform to the world. You should put in, and that's why these Sunday schools, because you will never hear any bad stuff on these Sunday school web. Maybe you hear stuff that you don't understand, maybe you hear stuff that you don't agree with, but there will never be any dogmas or stuff like that. It will all be principles, and the principles were here before us. That's the mystery. No, it's not a mystery, it's just the truth. So performance comes from the inside, not the outside. So we got to change. That's why you heard about the saying soul searching. You heard about the saying that mind power of the mind, or power of your thinking, or creating new habits. It all comes from the inside. So to summarize this introduction here this Sunday is that your thoughts will either become your prison or your passport. What? What prison? What passport? Well, the prison you built for yourself, or the passport to the new beginning, or on the other side, or the success around the corner. So your thoughts will either become your prison or your passport. Write it down. Take a note. Think about it. If you don't understand it now, think about it later. Don't let it, don't get hung up on stuff that you don't get at once. So you see that we have choices every day. What happens with most people is that the 60,000 thoughts that they have is actually making those choices for them. So that's what this saying come from, that I learned from Dr. Increase many years ago. He said 95% of your choices every day is not made by you consciously. It's made by your subconscious mind. So you have these 60,000 thoughts which make 95% of your decisions. So where do we start? Where do we change? We got to change those 60,000 subconscious thoughts. And why do I put this indecisiveness in here? Well, because most people, they have learned, or they have created a habit of being indecisive. And when you're indecisive, that means that you don't take any choices. Can you recognize this with people that you work with, or people that you show your opportunity to, or people that you're in your family, and you give them an idea, you say, hey, let's do this, and they go to indecisiveness. They go like, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. maybe I shouldn't, or I don't know if I want to, or, you know, and indecisiveness leads to fear. So it's kind of a vacuum the people are in. And why do I talk about this? Well, because every day you got to make a choice. Either you go left or you go right. Doesn't really matter, because you can always change your mind later. But you got to make a choice. You got to take action. So what is it that hold people back? What is it that hold people back from being honest? What is it that hold people back from being successful? What is it that hold people back from having a great life? What is it that hold people back from doing business? What is it that hold people back from uh, being a great family father or a mother? What is it that hold people back from? And you can put whatever you want in the last bit of the sentence. So what is the hold people back? Fear of the unknown. So they stop and they say, well, I don't know what's gonna come out of this, or I don't know what's gonna happen, or I don't know, they want to know before. And you can't know before. that's on another planet, the know before planet. On this planet, you got to do before you can have. You got to be before you can do. So what holds people back is the fear of the unknown. That's actually the real fear. That's what creates worry. And when you're indecisive, you will build up that fear of the unknown, because you never take that step of action. Because when you take a step of action, either it's bad or good, or something will happen, but it's better than being indecisive. So what people spend most of the time doing is that they have a lot of fear thinking. So a couple of examples here, just so you understand what I'm talking about. How people learn. It's a learned behavior. It's a learned thinking. It's a learned way of thinking about things. So let's say right today you're in a situation, okay? You learned a certain way of thinking about that situation you're in today. Some people, this is just examples, but you can probably identify with some of them. So most people, they play not to lose instead of playing to win. You see, they're defensive. And then when they don't get what they want, or what they wanted, or the goals they wrote down, because they were too defensive in their way of doing things, thinking, they blame it on someone else. It's someone else's fault. But it can't be someone else's fault, because they did the thinking. So playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Write that down. If you don't get it, write it down and think about it, contemplate. Another example of fear thinking is, what if I don't make it? So what? Who cares? In 100 years, who cares? Just do it so you see what happens, because the experience of doing something, it's worth more than not doing it. That's what people don't get. Wow, this is a $1 billion training. Wow, I hope you get this. Scarcity thinking, they're afraid of the whatever, they're afraid of not making enough, or losing, or scarcity thinking. Or what should other people think? when I start doing this? Or what shall my neighbors think? Or what shall my parents think? Or what, who cares what other people think? It's their problem. Don't make it yours. Just go out and do it. Another example of fear thinking, it's actually staying in the comfort zone. People stay in the comfort zone. They think that they are doing something. It's actually just letting your life run away. People are spending so much time in front of the television and stupid stuff that doesn't get them nowhere, doesn't produce anything. It just consume, and it consumes them, like hanging out in bars or I'm not against having a party or having fun. It's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying that a lot of people, they are staying in the comfort zone, and they will never change. They will never have an experience of success because they never leave the comfort zone. They never leave the sofa. They never leave the whatever that is, hanging out with friends that they already know. Make some new friends. That's the being out of the comfort zone. I'm telling you, that's when stuff starts to happening. And ego is the biggest fear creator. Ego, edging God out. Ego is that voice in your head who tells you stuff that you had nothing to do with. And a lot of people, they don't realize how much the ego is actually running their lives. But they will find out one day. So everybody has to find out for themselves. So back to the choices. You see now that if you're here, and in this example, it's you can use all the fear thinking examples, and you go left, and that will not be good, because on the left side is where fear lives. On the right side is where the good stuff is. On the right side, that's courage, and that's action, and that's love, and that's thinking about others, or that's doing more what you paid for, or all the good things are on the right side. So let's say you suffer from a little bit of fear thinking and you go left. That's okay, because you will have a result, and then you can change. You can go right after that. Some people have to go so much left until they can go right. Some people go left, and then they realize, wow, this is not fun, so they have to go right. But like I said, everybody has to find out for themselves. These are just suggestions, every Sunday here where we meet. But these are good suggestions, okay? So the indecisiveness is where people are in a vacuum. They're not actually going left, so they will not get a result. They will be standing still in the same place they were before. And a lot of people do that. Some people start, but they never finish because of their indecisiveness. And when you are indecisive, you don't make a decision about what you said, about everything, about today, where you are, about what's happening. You got to make a choice. When you do that, fear disappears. Wow. How can fear disappear? Well, the cure is action. When you take action, fear vanish. Whew, like that. And the cure is discipline. Because you can't take action if you don't discipline yourself. You say, I don't like doing this, or I'm not in the mood, I don't feel like it, but I do it anyway. You know, you take a decision. You discipline yourself. When you do that, that's where all the good things are coming your way. Maybe not immediately. Maybe you have to wait. Some people have to wait a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years. I don't know. But I know that it will become better. I know that time is your best friend. So if the cure is action, and I say the cure is action, and you say, what kind of action? Any action. Listen, you can do business. Then you are indecisiveness. You don't know what to choose. You know what cures the fear? Action. Any action. So if you start doing the dishes, or if you take a walk, or if you just start washing your car, or if you go out and help someone else, any action will take you out of yourself. And when you do that, the fear disappears and your mind clears up. Wow. So that's why it's better to be a giver than a taker. And the whole purpose of being here is to get that education. When you get that little bit of education, motivation, inspiration, whatever you call it, it breeds confidence in you. And confidence breeds hope. And hope breeds serenity. It's what everybody's looking for. That soundness of mind. When we feel that little glimpse of hope and say, wow, I feel better now. Yes, because you're thinking right. Because this 30 minutes, there's no wrong thinking. It's right thinking. And back to what I said before, to get that knowledge, to be here or to read a book or to listen to someone else, you're curing the fear and the worry. And it comes from discipline, because it takes discipline to be on these Sunday webinars. You know how many people get invited? You know how many people don't do it? It's unbelievable. They get this every Sunday and they choose, they go, well, I'm not in the mood because I'm angry because blah, 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 blah. And they miss out. They're so stupid. They don't get it. It's right here, right now, these webinars where they will get their solution for their problems. But they choose to stay away. It's their choice. And back to this, and that is so fundamental. The discipline to take action. Why shall you take action? Well, because you have goals. So that's why it's so important with goals. You can go back to them and say, hey, I forgot about why I was doing this. Why I need to be disciplined and take action, because I want to have this. So that's indecisiveness cure right there, to look at your goals, because it will set a thing of emotions in motion, and knowledge is not power. Power is knowledge put in use. So we can know a lot of things. I've met so many people during my years, people who have a lot of knowledge, but they don't put the knowledge in use, or they use it in a wrong way. And yeah, what can I do? What can I say? I can't help them. They got to help themselves. You know, everyone has to find out for themselves. Isn't that beautiful how that works? So last but not least, the latest great battle will not be in the battlefield, but in the minds of man. Because you're here to make a difference. You're here to do something with your life. You're here to help people, to change people's lives, to create a domino effect in people's life. And then people can go, yo, you know, I met this guy, or I met this person, or I met her, you know, and now 10 years later, my life is so much better because I spent a couple of hours with her or him, or, you know, I was in his business, you know. It doesn't much matter what you do right now, you know, because life is a collection of seasons. So guys, with that, I will let you go, and hope you had a wonderful webinar, because I did. And like I always said, if you do this, best of your life, it's going to be the rest of your life. But you got to put these things in use, because you're not who you think you are. You are who you think you are. Thank you.